Hi, I'm Laura from Sticks Stones. How can I find the perfect wine for any dishes? Let's ask Justin. Hey Justin, how can I find the perfect wine for any dishes?
So last week, I introduced my basic thinking on how to sort of reverse engineer or deconstruct a dish, pop the hood, look at the engine, find the missing parts, and fill those in with a great wine. Now, since you asked, Laura, stay with me here. This is gonna get a little nerdy. It's gonna get a little intense, all right? My little culinary string theory I'm gonna lay down for you here, but I promise it's gonna make great sense. Okay, so now think about it like, one of those really cool like maps in like a sci-fi film where it's like three-dimensional and they're kind of like flipping it around and stuff, seeing three-dimensional everything. That's kind of what your mind has to be like when you're thinking about really getting down to what is the wine or one of the wines which is going to turn this dish or this course into an absolute event, like an extinction level event for your palate. Like, holy crap, what just happened? Hallelujah, I've been saved kind of moment, right? And this can happen. Even if people believe that it can't and they think that it's all a bunch of hocus pocus, when some say, oh, this is the best wine, people say, just drink what you like and eat what you like. Hey, at Sticks and Stones, I'm all about that. I'm all about just chilling out and letting you drink what you like and eat what you like. But coming from the places that I've come from, with the programs and the chefs whom I've been able to work with, and of course the wine cellars, I have seen the promised land. I have seen how earth-shattering some of these pairings really can be if you dig down deep enough into the fabric of the wine and truly have a deep understanding of the food that's in front of you. Now, to do that, you have to basically, in your mind, chart out the coordinates of the wine. Now, let's consider the y-axis to be acidity and sweetness. Let's say if you're on the plus side, it's acidity. If you're on the minus side, it's sweetness. So you're moving on this one axis here. Where is it gonna fall? Then you have the x-axis, which would then be weight and texture. So is it mouth-filling, rich, broad, like whole milk or cream? Or is it thinner, like skim milk, water? Weight. Weight is such an important element of a wine pairing. The way I look at it, when the food and wine square off at the table, it's like a boxing match. Because a real boxing match is really about a dance anyway, right? I mean, there's action, but it's really most of the intellectual fundamentals of that gentleman's game is really about the footwork and the coordination and the dance. And that's exactly what these two things are doing. And if you don't have an even matched weight, there's no way it's going to be a nice bout, right? You never see a featherweight fighting a heavyweight, and there's a reason for that. Same thing with wine. If the wine cannot stand up to the food, it's going to get run over, and other way around. I mean, imagine trying to eat like a ceviche, right? Super acidic, light, not cooked, against some big, heavy, like Hermitage Blanc. It's just gonna be like a steamroller right over that beautifully light, ephemeral dish. The other way around, you have some super thick, rich, dark, meaty, like cassoulet, and you try to pair like a Mosel Riesling with it, no chance in hell. And yes, I know people can say, yeah, but you can also do the opposite. You can counter it with the acidity and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I get it. The only thing that works really with is champagne, because champagne works all the time, anytime, every time. But it also won't ignite that dish. It'll just kind of wash over your palate, kind of scrape it clean so you're ready for the next bite, but it's not going to integrate into that yin-yang, beautiful, two become one kind of amazing thing, right? So there's another axis here, and now this is where it gets really nerdy. Even if you have the right wine, let's say you chart out here, okay, I need something acidic, I need something with a little bit less weight, but the chef just threw in a component that I don't know how to deal with. Let's say it's something earthy. Now let's take that tom kha gai idea I just had in the last video, right? You have the coconut, the lemongrass, the chili, the corn, everything sounds wonderful for something like a Sauvignon Blanc, grassy, citrusy, maybe even if you want to go the tropical route, the Riesling, right? Sounds fantastic. But then the chef throws in some really woodsy, earthy mushrooms. Maybe he also throws in a root vegetable. Well, guess what? Your first idea, out the window. But here's the trick. That z-axis that goes diagonally through our plotted out points. Now this one, after you've got the acidity or the sweetness and the body and the texture all kind of figured out, now this one is the time axis. This is where you start thinking about when you have the category of your wine. Okay, great. Fresh, elegant Sauvignon Blanc or Riesling, but it has nothing to do with woodsy. Well, here we go.
Let's do some time travel.
The more we slide back that axis on into the minus to however far back we want to go, all of a sudden you start getting all of these earthy, more deeply minerally, right, essential aromas in the wine. You sacrifice some freshness and you get some earth. You also probably get some weight. You also probably get some oxidation. So what happens then? Now the nuttiness with the oxidation. Ooh, that's kind of cool with coconut and with corn. Now you've got some earthiness. Ooh, that's going to be awesome with the mushrooms or the truffle or the root vegetable. You're also sliding the weight scale a little bit forward because now it's getting weightier and not as light. And now your texture is totally different. So what started out as maybe not a great idea, let's say it was a Mosel Riesling, and now you thought, oh crap. Well, maybe if you go back to the 80s, and the 70s, or the 60s, maybe it changed the whole equation. Now you got still some of that tropical fruit. You got all the earthiness. You got the weight. You got the texture. You got the power. Maybe final with a little bit of residual sugar that plumped it up, but now that it's old, it doesn't have that sweetness anymore. And now you have just transcended. Now that you've flipped this whole matrix around in your head, you plotted all the points and you said, I need this. What can do that? An old Riesling. Now you have reached the holy crap plateau. You are able to blow someone's mind with one of the most incredible pairings you could imagine. Not only mimicking, but bringing things to the equation, elevating that dish to a place that the chef never thought it would go, and justifying your paycheck. So although we don't cook the food and maybe we just buy the wines, it's all about the curation. And in terms of wine pairings, this is our one opportunity as a somm to show everything we've learned, everything we've tasted, and to put it into practice, to work with the kitchen and make an experience not just great, but unforgettable, and to present the wine and the food in a light that they both never realized they could find themselves in. And the craziest thing about a truly amazing wine pairing, and I've noticed this with especially wines like an old Vigna Tondonia or a Bucasso or an old white Bordeaux or an old Burgundy or an old Riesling, when you find that magical pairing, even if the white wine is, let's say, 30 or 40 years old, it's so happy in that moment. The harmony is so compelling that the wine acts like a child again, forgets that it's 40 years old, and it appears on your palate like it's 5. It's like handing an older person a photo or a memento from their youth, and all of a sudden they're a kid again. It is truly a magical moment. And if you can master this in your head, and if you can taste, of course, all these crazy things and build that vocabulary, man, the sky is the limit. Does that answer your question for you?
Yes, thank you so much. It seems interesting.
Tastes even better.